today's show, we have free financial advice from TikTok, how a loss can help you grow, and
we're done.
Excuse me. I don't excuse you.
Discover the new home of Judge Judy. Plus,
because people will find your secret hiding places, is what you're saying?
Yes, absolutely.
Ways to protect your home from theft. And
she can cut off any challenge to her succession.
Discover the next chapter in Game of Thrones. But up first, what you need to know when you look for a job. It's your life, it's your list, and it starts right now.
Hey everyone, I'm Jimmy Rhodes.
And I'm Christina Guerrero. Okay, if you have a job or are looking for one, money is a huge factor in deciding what to do and where to go.
So, what are realistic expectations? A recent survey showed that the average starting salary for a recent college graduate is just over $55,000.
Yeah, but the expectation of those grads was almost $104,000, and that is a huge void. So we are looking at how to interview and what to expect in the job hunt these days. And that's our featured story at the top of the list.
If you're fresh out of college, it can be a mixed bag of emotions. And to top it off, trying to find the right job can be scary.
They don't really know how to find a job, how to conduct an intentional, focused job search, because frankly, we've never been taught.
Luckily, Julie Bakke, career strategist and president of the Bakke Group, has some tips on how you can get that dream job out of college and beyond. For starters, don't fall into the online black hole.
Online job search, online job postings, it's a blessing and a curse.
It's a great way to see all the open jobs in the world that might be a fit for you.
The problem is, there's a lot of other people sitting there in their bunny slippers looking at exactly the same jobs.
Julie says if a hiring manager has 3 openings and gets over 300 responses per opening,
they now have up to 1,000 resumes to go through, and they aren't going to do that.
So she says to try some good old-fashioned networking.
Only about 12% of people get their jobs online.
So hit up LinkedIn and find a current or former employee.
Getting hired through people you know or people you meet as a part of your job search is still how 2/3 or more of people get their jobs. And so you want to spend your time where the good odds are.
Next, don't blow the open-ended questions.
The question that sends people, into shivers is, tell me about yourself. It's big, it's open-ended. Do I start in 3rd grade? Do I start in high school? What do they want to know?
Julie says the worst answer to that question is asking back, what would you like to know?
Because you should go into every interview with, what do you want them to know about you?
Highlight who you are now, what you're looking for, and how they might be able to help.
The second is, why did you leave your last job? And if it was something that maybe wasn't a story that really puts you in a good light, you need to practice that. We all are in jobs sometimes that just aren't a fit for us, and we are asked to leave or we choose to leave. It's how you tell the story that matters.
Another question you need to know is coming. What do you want to do next?
So there's the past, the present, and the future. When you are prepared to answer those questions, you are actually taking some level of control in the conversation.
And Julie's final tip, manage your expectations.
Job search is a roller coaster, is the best way I've heard it described. You're going to get all hyped up, excited, do your prep work, go on an interview, and walk out of there and it's like the balloon deflates.
This is the infamous waiting period.
Then you start all of they didn't like me, I wore the wrong tie, I said the wrong thing.
Julie says all that waiting might just put you into a funk, so if you aren't in the right headspace,
all of a sudden you get an email saying, hey, can we do a phone screen this afternoon? You jump on the call and you're not jumping into that call from a place of strength and positivity.
So try to distract yourself with things that make you feel good.
So that you're always ready for the moment when that call comes and you're always ready to put your best foot forward.
Making a smooth transition from college grad to the job market is at the top of the list.
A tough reality that we all go through is loss, and dealing with it can be really, really hard. So Jackie Denker is showing us some ways to handle whatever we're dealing with and come out stronger on the other side.
Dealing with loss of any kind. It's not easy. Take it from teacher and inspirational speaker McKenna Wrights.
I lost all my hair due to an autoimmune disease called alopecia. And when I thought it had ripped my identity away from me as every strand fell out of my head, what I've learned is that alopecia has given me and shown me my true identity and my true purpose in life.
and McKenna is sharing tips on how to tackle any loss or challenge so we can become the best versions of ourselves. First of all, whatever you're going through, give yourself a grace period.
When we experience a loss in our life, whether it's hair loss or any other type of loss, it is okay to be weak. It is okay to cry.
Whether it takes 24 hours, a month, or even a year,
allow yourself to work through the emotions, the physical attributes, the psychological, and the emotional things that we are experiencing.
Then she says start focusing on shortening that grace period just a little bit, day by day.
Then we're going to realize that we truly are stronger than we ever have given ourselves credit for.
Next, focus on what you do have control over.
And as human beings, we want to be in control. And when we're not, we feel powerless.
And the more we become conscientious that things are out of our control,
we start to focus on what we are in control over in that situation. And it's our attitude, our mindset about that challenge.
So instead of letting our loss define us, she says reframe your thinking to,
I am going to define it. Whatever your it is, don't ever allow a loss or a challenge to dictate how you think, feel, or act ever.
Finally, become inspired so you can start inspiring.
Don't compare your chapter 1 to my chapter 20. What we need to start doing is being inspired.
If you see someone else fighting and showing up for themselves and their loved ones, start
allowing that to inspire you to still get out of bed every single day. And if it's getting out of bed to move to the couch, I applaud you.
And then one day you can be that inspiration for someone else.
And it creates that pay it forward, that domino effect, that how we treat one another, holding the door open, saying pleases and thank yous, teaching our children that we all look different. We are all different in every single way, and that's what makes us so beautiful.
Things are looking up as we look within to overcome loss.
Here's a question. Do you have any idea how many streaming services you're paying for? In the average household, it's between 3 and 5, and a lot of those go unused. Instead of paying for all that content, it might be worth seeing what's out there for free. Addy D. Jabal hit up Consumer Reports for info on the latest no-cost streaming trends.
Streaming is all the rage these days. And while there are seemingly unlimited choices, most of us don't have unlimited budgets to watch it all.
Some consumers are starting to really get oversubscribed. They belong to too many services. You have an inflation going on right now where people are probably more budget conscious.
Jim Wilcox, senior electronics editor for Consumer Reports, has a few reasons to give streaming services a second look. Let's start with the fact you can watch newer shows and original content.
A year or two ago, really all you were getting were old shows and movies. That's really what these services were about.
But now, a lot are offering popular shows from the past few years and original content, from movies to reality shows.
Freevee, which is Amazon's free service, now has a Judge Judy show that's exclusive to them.
Ah, now you're getting smart.
And Roku features full-length original movies.
Roku went out and they got, the Zoe Christmas special.
I can't imagine any place I'd rather be.
And they're working deals with Martha Stewart and Emerald Lagasse.
Tubi offers animated shows like The Freak Brothers. Next up, a new take on live TV. It's not the traditional way of watching a show at a specific time, but the approach is similar.
What it is doing is mirroring the way that you've traditionally watched TV. So I think it's more of a presentation thing.
The layout on free services like Roku and Peacock, for example, look a lot like a traditional cable TV guide channel. And it can help you when you have no idea what to watch.
If you don't really know what you want to watch, you click on, it's like, oh, okay, these shows are on, I'll watch that.
We'll wrap it up with premium features once reserved for the paid services.
So you're starting to see, more user-friendly features, having watch lists, being able to continue watching.
This allows you to pick up where you left off in a movie or TV show. And Jim says it's good business for the streaming services to do this.
And when you search for a show or movie on the Roku mobile app, you'll see more, including all your options. Plus, now you can access over 250 live streaming channels in just a click.
But I think that we're just going to see is more of these premium types of features hit the streaming services because it's a competitive disadvantage for you not to have them.
Saving some cash while enjoying great content with free streaming trends.
Still to come, why your inside doors need locks.
You want to secure
a room a little bit better.
And learn how to manage personal debt.
If you have open credit cards, lower those balances.
Plus,
it's really just the story of one family slowly tearing itself apart.
Journey back to the world of Game of Thrones.
Night will come out.
All that and more next.
YouTube, I know you're right in the middle of watching. I will make this brief. Wanted to remind you to hit subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss 1 minute of the list. Okay, back to the show.
Welcome back. And Christina, we all want our families and our belongings to be safe inside our homes, even if we don't have a formal security system hooked up. So we have some DIY home security ideas.
Okay, when I think of DIY home security, of course I think of Home Alone when Kevin is trying to keep the burglars out.
Yeah, he's like the MacGyver of pain. He's like Three Stooges. Well, it's not quite like that, but certainly we have some tangible and accessible ways to keep the bad guys out.
Your home is your nest, your sanctuary. You do not want criminals anywhere near it, whether you're there or not.
Criminals are looking for the path of least resistance.
Yes.
And the easiest opportunity that they can to get away with something.
Chad Aruda, co-founder of Wyndham Security, shares some tips on how to keep your house off criminals' radar. For starters, lose the curb appeal.
So if there are 3 houses on a block, how can you make sure yours is the least attractive to a burglar?
Maybe you might want to grow your shrubs in front of your windows a little bit more.
Taller shrubs with thorns or even cacti in front of windows mean a potentially painful obstacle for someone with bad intent.
Speaking of obstacles, I've always wondered about this. So I can buy this at a Home Depot. Don't people know the jig is up and that you can just buy a sticker without having an alarm?
Yes, absolutely, but it's still a deterrent. Post in your back windows, post in the front window.
Because if somebody's in the neighborhood scouting houses to rob,
maybe yours looks 10% less attractive.
Exactly.
Next, wireless security systems.
Here's a good example of one. You don't need to do any modifications to your home or an apartment.
Kits like these come with door and window sensors, don't require any wiring, and start at around $30.
Some of the newer ones, they work off of Wi-Fi and they run on the app, so you can actually get alerted on your phone.
These motion sensors are portable, can be mounted anywhere, and run off batteries. They can be found online starting around $25. Finally, upgrade your interior door locks.
I would suggest putting commercial locks. It's non-invasive. You're not messing with any of the structure.
Most interior doors have standard non-locking door handles that can be replaced by a stronger lockable handle with a key.
You're trying to hide your valuables. You want to secure a room a little bit better.
Because people will find your secret hiding places, is what you're saying?
Yes, absolutely.
Secure in the knowledge that you are protecting your home.
The post-pandemic life has been stressful for everyone, and it turns out #inflation has over 1.8 billion views on TikTok. So if you'd like to learn how to be better with money, here are 3 popular financial accounts with over 48 million likes combined. Coming in at number 1, Humphrey Talks.
Inflation was 6.2% year over year, but what are some of the best investments to protect us against inflation?
Humphrey Yang shares all sorts of financial tips with his 3.3 million followers.
Try this easy method to kickstart your savings habit painlessly in 30 days.
And tricks.
We're at Chipotle and we're going to figure out what gets you more bang for your buck, the burrito or the bowl.
Spoiler alert, it's the burrito bowl. He even shares tips you might have never known you needed.
If you're a business owner, you can get a tax deduction if your pet provides a service for the business, like a guard dog or a cat for pest control.
And some money hacks you can use on a daily basis.
Brands that sell the best and have the highest markups are usually at eye level when shopping through a grocery store.
Well, he's right about that. More than half of what we buy at the grocery store is at eye level, which is why they call it buy level. All right, at number 2, Brianna's Finance.
All you moms out there, you can't save your way to wealth. You have to invest your way.
Brianna Zanoni is helping others save and grow their money.
You need to have 2 checking accounts. Your first checking account is where you're going to have direct deposit set up.
But also sharing inside secrets.
The wealthy are leveraging debt, usually paying around 3 to 4% interest, and they are finding investments in things that are earning them income on an 8 to 10%.
And even offering tax tips.
You got a tax refund of more than $2,000, you are losing money. Who's been earning interest on all that money all year long? You or Uncle Sam?
Well, I think I can answer that one for all of us. Uncle Sam. And third on our list of TikTok financial experts, Keela Katz.
Day 1 of 7 on your credit repair journey.
Keela is best known for talking about credit and debt.
There are 3 types of credit: revolving, installment, and open.
She has over 340,000 followers who watch her posts about how to get out of debt.
Now that you're managing your money, now you'll have a little bit more towards debts if you have any.
She also shares her thoughts about how to build your credit score.
First, if you have open credit cards, lower those balances.
Well, I think Keela deserves a lot of credit for helping her followers get good credit. And those are 3 TikTok financial experts helping people grow their bank accounts. Coming up, we have everything you need to know about the highly anticipated Game of Thrones prequel, House of the Dragon, which drops on HBO Max this Sunday. So exciting! We'll be right back.
You want the most out of life, and thelisttv.com is your one place to find it all. From money-saving hacks to great family vacations to mouth-watering recipes and the latest lifestyle trends. Get what's new, what's now, and what's next. thelisttv.com.
We're back. On the watch list today, we're heading back to the 7 Kingdoms of Westeros. If you're a fan of HBO's Game of Thrones, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And if you're not, well, now's the time to get in on the action. Here's a sneak peek at what to expect from House of the Dragon.
Get ready for a lot of fire-breathing action.
Big news, Game of Thrones fans. If you love the hit HBO series, then there's plenty more where that came from.
Talking about the new show from the saga is Rotten Tomatoes contributing editor Mark Ellis. Up first, the origin of House of the Dragon.
And all the dragons roared as one.
The appetite for Game of Thrones remains strong. It's one of the biggest hits in HBO's history. It's one of the best Emmy-winning shows of all time. And so now House of the Dragon steps up to the plate with a lot on the line.
Targaryens are closer to gods than to men.
With 272 awards total, including 38 Emmy Awards, Game of Thrones holds the record for the most awarded series in Emmy history.
The original Game of Thrones was very much an epic that was weaving together various different threads. It still has that scale and scope, but it's really just the story of one family slowly tearing itself apart.
Up next, the making of the new series.